Purple Positivity is being brought to you by BettorEdge. BettorEdge is a legal way to bet socially with no fees. Head over to BettorEdge.com and get your free $20 when you sign up using the promo code BBS. That's at BettorEdge.com. BettorEdge. Play the game without getting played.
Welcome into another edition of Purple Positivity. That's right, the Vikings get a much-needed victory. Once again, they're flying high. I know it's the Washington Commanders, but I swear to God, everyone on Twitter is, on Vikings Twitter anyway, is acting as if they lost. They're almost acting as if somebody kicked their legs from underneath them and they smashed their head on the side of the stairs or some shit, because holy smokes, there's some people complaining about a 3-point road victory in which the Vikings were favored by 3 points. Vegas knows what they're doing, man. They knew it was going to be a tough game. Washington Commanders flying pretty high. It did look awful there for a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like, this offense at times looks like they have no idea what they're trying to do and what they're trying to accomplish. And don't even get me started on the red zone defense. The percentage in which they give up a touchdown is astronomical. I think they're the worst in the league. I think I saw somewhere they're 32nd as far as giving up a touchdown as opposed to a field goal or scoring percentage or something like that. That's less than ideal. Unless you're really, really good from the middle of the field to the red zone, in which we're not, quantifying or throwing into the equation or anything like that. But the Vikings are giving up a shit ton of yards on defense, and they're giving up scores when they're not supposed to be giving up scores. And that's tough. That's one of those things where it's going to be pretty tough to figure out what or where or when or why or any of those things. But they're winning. That's the beauty of it. Zadarius Smith, unfucking real, man. I talked about him last week, but Daniel Hunter this week, he gets 2 sacks. It shows you right now. I think between the two of them, they're, good for like 17 sacks on the year or something like that. 17, 16, 12 sacks, whatever it is. 12 sacks maybe. I don't know. Whatever it is, just the two of them. And then the Vikings defense, they're getting what they need to as well. It's good. Vikings 7-1. I didn't predict this. I know a lot of people did not predict this, but what a lot of people, and myself included, did predict is this tough slate coming up. I believe the Vikings have their 4 toughest tests right now. 3 for sure, where they go to Buffalo, and then they have Dallas at home, and then they have the Patriots on Thanksgiving at home, and then I don't know if they're at home with the Jets or not. I think they're at home with the Jets too, so that might help as well. Or they're on the road with Jets. Little weird. Jets beat the Bills. I don't know if that's going to make for the Bills to be angry. We don't even know as of this recording. It's Thursday afternoon. We don't know if Josh Allen's going to be playing. It looks like he's not going to be. He did come out and say, of course he wants to play. It's a Stephon Diggs revenge tour type thing, and, I'd rather him say that than say, no, I don't need to play. We're going to beat him. We're going to beat him without me. So I don't know. I think it's going to be extremely tough, whether it's Case Keenum or it's, Joe Schmo off the street, because the Buffalo Bills, they have a Super Bowl roster. They have an offensive line that is ridiculous. Their run game is coming around. You got some of those guys, man, that they can really get the ball to. They got Davis and, of course, Diggs. That's ridiculous. And Dawson Knox, I don't know if he's hurt still or not, but that offense is ridiculous. But what really does actually scare me is their defense. Their defense is filled with just hitters, man. Leslie Frazier, you want to talk about revenge games. I know Frazier's been gone a long time from the Minnesota Vikings, but his defensive schemes and all that, that's going to give the Vikings offense fits, because the Washington Commanders offense with Taylor Heineke was giving the Vikings fits. So Case Keenum's not that much different than Taylor Heineke, but the Bills offense has much better weapons and much better offensive line. It's scary. I know this is called purple positivity. Try to keep it a little bit more on the positive side. I think the Vikings have a chance at winning this, regardless of who's throwing the ball. But I also think, regardless, this just looks like it lost to me. It does. And that's not even that bad of a deal. Because even if they lose, say the next 4 games, the Vikings lose 3 of them. They go 1-3. They're still sitting really, really good in the NFC North and in the NFC playoff picture, to be honest. They're still sitting at that 2 seed. Of course, you want the 1 seed, but at this point, you just want to win the division as quickly as possible, with as few injuries as possible. We've been dealing with, obviously, Lewis Cine is out. Andrew Booth Jr., he's been having some issues getting back on the field. Having a Caleb Evans come in and do what he did last week, he has shown that he can be that guy across from Patrick Peterson, because they went to him a lot last week. I could see him getting 20 targets with, if he's standing across from Davis or Diggs, man, I could see either Case Keenum or Josh Allen targeting him 20 times in this game. And if he's up for the task, great. Sure hope so, man. Cam Dantzler, I don't know what's going on with him with the injury, but either way, it's going to be an extremely difficult game, whether it's Case Keenum or Josh Allen. If Josh Allen's in there, I say it's a Vikings loss by about 10 points. It's going to be close the whole way. I think Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith each get a sack, regardless. I think if Case Keenum's in there, it's a Vikings loss by about 3 points. So my prediction, I'm actually going to go Bills 27, Vikes 24. 27-24, Vikes with the loss, but it's not that big of a deal. It's in the middle of the season. I don't know if this is something that actually happens, but I could see coaches, if things start getting away from them, just to abandon some of that stuff, just so they're not showing the rest of the league what they're trying to do when they're trying to win games. You see Bill Belichick, you see Sean McVay, you see those guys where they just kind of take their eyes off the playbook a little bit when a loss is going to happen or in the middle of it. Like, it looks like they're getting beat down. All of a sudden, you're just seeing 3 and outs. I don't know if that's something coaches do or not, but it looks like that would be one of those things. I just hope it's a fun game. It's a noon game. Hopefully we get to see Kirk Cousins with a whole bunch of chains on the way back from Buffalo again. That is ridiculous, man. I don't get it. All the media just hates Kirk Cousins all the time. And then once he starts being a little out of character, just because of his fun team that's around him is allowed to actually be fun around him, is making him be a little more fun, a little goofy. God, what a cool white dude that man is. And the dude that was making fun of him on ESPN, I can't, Max, whatever his name is, I do not give 2 shits about ESPN, to be honest with you. The guy that's saying that he looks better than Kirk Cousins, yeah, fucking right, man. That dude is cooking elephant ankles and has some, he's got like a 6-pack. Absolute 6-pack with his shirt off. That dude is jacked. That is not just a regular quarterback body either. Kirk Cousins is built with the Lord, my man. So either way, I'm just glad that the Vikings don't have Mark Schlereth as color commentator on this one, because here's my impression of him. This is what he's trying to do. This is what he's trying to say. Hey, this person is going around the defensive end off to the right, and he's going down and gets a 30-yard carry. What I hear is, well, this is where, right, he comes over to the right, and when he writes, he goes to the right, right? And then when right, he comes over and then up 30 yards. That's just good running, right? Right? That's all I freaking hear, man. It's just, next time you listen to a Mark Schlereth broadcast, mark down how often he says the word right. And then once you listen to it, you can't stop hearing it. Also, go to listen to radio. Radio is much better. I choose to listen to Paul Allen when they're winning, and I choose to listen to a different broadcast when the Vikes are losing, Because, man, Paul Allen, Pete Persich this past Sunday, whew, something. It was in the middle of that debacle where the ref took out the guy, and they were fighting this other dude in John Riggins' jersey, verbally thing. I know a bunch of people that listen to K-Fan probably heard about it, but that's stuff that I don't really need to hear on a broadcast. It was just fine. It's just like I want to hear what's happening out on the field. Either way, let's hope the Vikes prove me wrong. And skull bitches.